Welcome to Delicious Sparkly Cakes. Today I'm going to show you how to make a witch which is perfect for your kids' Halloween cake. Alright then, let's start making the boots first of all. And from a bowl, what we want to do is to cut it in half and make two teardrop shapes. One side so it is pointed, and then at the same time what you want to do is make this drop like an L shape. Then put the boot upside down and then pinch the fondant to make the heel. Make a hole at the top of the boot so that we're gonna have some room to put the legs afterwards. To make the boots buckle, what we want to do first of all is to roll some grey fondant, then cut out a circle with the bigger straw, and then with the use of a smaller straw take off the other bit as well, so that we're going to have this round shape. However, when we're going to put on top of the boot, what we want to do is to make it a little bit more square. To make the legs instead, we're starting making a big sausage of white modeling paste, but the sausage is going to be bigger in the middle and thinner on each side. Then we're gonna fold in half, and then we're not gonna cut it as I usually do. Then we're gonna make some orange stripes and we're gonna put it on top of each leg. Now I've used orange, but you can use any color that you want. You might even use purple or green, which are more Halloween colors. So then you put the 3 strips on the other legs. Cut the extra fondant and making it all nice and smooth with the leaf shaper. Cut it if you need it, and stretch it as well if you need to do so. What we want to do next is making the witch broom, and to do so what we're going to need is a long cocktail stick, and we're going to insert a ball of black fondant. This is the handle, the broom handle. So we're gonna roll it, make it thinner. Remove any extra fondant, and then we're going to make the bottom of the broom using some brown modeling paste. Then we're gonna flatten it, make it a little bit thinner at the top of it. And then we're going to draw lots of lines so that it's going to look like the bristles. At the top of it, we're going to cut off some triangles from it. And then we're going to insert it on our cocktail stick. At the top of it, we're going to add a strip of orange fondant. And then we're going to draw lots of lines so that it's going to look like it's a small cord all around it. Let's go back to the legs now, and in one of the legs, what we want to do is to insert a long cocktail stick, which is going to support not only the legs and the boot as well, which we're going to insert, as you can see, but also the whole body as well. In fact, on the smaller leg, we're not going to add a long cocktail stick, just a tiny bit is enough. Now we can insert the broom in the middle of the legs as well, and as you can see, one of the legs is going to be fixed, but the other one we want to give a little bit more movement and it's going to be more free. The next step now is to make the skirt, and I've rolled some black fondant. I'm gonna cut it straight at the bottom and at the top and oblique on each side. Then we're going to pinch it at the top and put it around the legs. Try not to leave too much at the front of it. To make the top of the body instead, we're going to make a cone, and then we want to make it straight at the bottom and on the top and insert it. What we still need to make are the arms, and we're going to use some flesh fondant, of course. We're going to make a sausage first, and then leaving 1 inch or less, we're going to roll it to make the wrist. Then we're going to make a cut to make the thumb, and then going to make other 3 cuts to make the other 4 fingers. And then we're going to pinch it a little bit, because I want to make something really simple and not too overcomplicated. To make the sleeve, again, I'm going to use some orange fondant because again, it's going to match everything else and it is quite cute, I thought. And we're going to cut out some triangles and put it on top of the arm. And then we're going to add the arms onto the body, holding the broom as well. So you want your arms to be long enough, but not too long either. So the body has been done and we want to leave it for drying. What we got to do now is to make the head, and we're going to start from a ball. We're going to press at the top of it, and then what we want to do is to press a little bit here where the eyes are going to be, but at the same time what you want to do is to push the fondant towards the middle so that we can create the nose as well. Then we're going to make 2 holes at the bottom of the nose to make the nostrils. And to make it more simple, I'm going to use some straws of different size to make the eyes. We're going to use the bigger one to make the outside of the eyes, and then we're going to push the fondant on the inside using a ball tool. Then we're going to draw first the lips, and when we're happy with it, we can cut on the inside as well. Lift the top lip a little bit and then rub it. Instead, to make the bottom one, we're going to use a leaf shaper like this, and on each side of the mouth we're going to press a little bit so that the mouth is going to be cuter and nicer. Now we need to fill the eyes with some round white modeling paste, and then we're going to use a smaller straw to make the outside of our irises. Let's add some really thin black fondant to make the outside of the eyes. And then what we want to do is to add eyelashes as well. And I've added 2 on each side. And I liked as well to be a little bit more curved. I think they make a big difference. Now, to paint the irises, I've used a blue and a green mixed together because I think it looks much nicer. And on the inside as well, at the bottom of it, I've painted it with white. At the top instead, I've painted it with blue, just blue. And I love this color of the eyes. I think that more shades of blue and green you add, the more nicer the eye is going to look. Then all around it, I've painted it with black so that the eye is going to look even deeper and nicer. Then I've made an oval, I pressed it and then I cut it in the middle and I've added on each side of the eye for the pupil. And then to make sure that the eye is going to look a little bit more alive, I've added 2 dots, one smaller and one bigger, on top of each eye. To make the eyebrows, I could actually add some small strips of brown modeling paste, but I thought that painting it looked a little bit more nicer. So this is what I did, and always using the same color, I added some freckles as well. With some pink gel paste, then I painted the lips really pale. This is what I loved. I didn't want to add too much color on it. And finally, using my favorite palette, I've added some color to the face, as at the moment it looked too pale. Before adding the head, what we need to do is to add a piece of sugar paste to make the neck. Then cut it, any extra, and once the neck is dry and the head as well, I've added the head. I could have continued to use orange for the hair too, but then it would be, I think, a little bit too much. So I decided to make the hair in purple and to give some contrast to the whole cake topper. So I've made 3 hair strands. One side is thicker and the other one is a lot thinner. Then I've drawn all the hair and make a few cuts so that the hair straws could look a little bit more nicer. So I've added one hair straw on the left, the other one on the right, and the last one at the back. And then I like to put this and I love this piece of curly hair at the front, which I think it looks a little bit more cheeky. Now what we have left to do is to make a hat witch, because of course there is no witch without a beautiful and big hat as well. And what we're going to do is to start from a ball of black fondant, make a cone with it, and using our fingers, what we want to do is to make the bottom of the hat coming out. So you need to work on this side a little bit, even with your palm as well. And you don't want to make a round bottom hat, but what you want to do is to make a little bit more oval. Because I don't have an oval cutter, what I've done is to cut it and then rubbing it at the end to make it a little bit more nicer. At the bottom center, I've made a hole up with it, and then I've curved a little bit the end of the hat as well to look a little bit more nicer. All around it, then I've added a strip of great fondant, cut the excess, and then making it nice and smooth. Now you need to know that before adding any hat, what you need to do is to cut the top of the hair, otherwise it will look a little bit more out of place. And as you can see, it looks much nicer already, but what you want to do as well is to make it all more curved, and some places a little bit more high up. Finally, I want to add this something that could give a little bit more of a character to the whole Halloween scene, and is adding a pumpkin at the top of the hat. So it's a very small ball with a really simple mouth and 2 triangle eyes. At the top I've added a small piece of green fondant, and then we can finally glue with some water at the top of the hat once the hat is already hard. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video too. And as usual, don't forget to be creative and have fun. Bye bye.